Welcome to the Joy First Foundation podcast. This is where we discuss what it's like to give a joyful moment, how you can give joyful moments. Tune in and listen as we discuss what it's like to be with Joy First Foundation and what you can do easily to bring random moments of joy to others. Hope you enjoy listening. Thank you. Hi. Audrey, this has been such an amazing time. Now that you have had an in-person Joy First experience, how would you describe Joy First?
I'm so excited. I love it.
That's so beautiful. Wow. So did you witness a joyful moment?
I did. Oh my goodness. I live in a community where people tend to be like, ugh. It's not as bad as a nursing home. I mean, it is independent living. But they're sad. There's a sadness here. And the sadness, I think, has to do with the fact that they've given up. Most of them have given up. One or two work or volunteer or something. And the rest of them, they're beautiful people. But they go from meal to meal to meal, or television show to television show. And they don't see, they kind of like, I think there's a British program called Waiting for God.
Okay, I haven't heard it.
And it's about, it's supposed to be humorous. And I'm amazed that there isn't, there is a social director, but instead of pushing these people to get out every day or three times a week and go to different places or do improv. I've tried to get them to do improv. They won't do it, right? I've tried to get them to do dancercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two people show up, and so there's no encouragement. These are beautiful people who work here, but there's no real encouragement to get them to get moving. And many of them I've seen have gone from perfectly okay to walking in a walker to worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always try to come in and help, but it's like pushing a rock up a hill.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you came in and you did the balloons I saw a childlike quality come out of them. Every one of them was amazing. And I mean, I do it too, but I don't do it to the level that you do it. I make kind of jokes and,
right. And this is something that I've heard before. Yeah. With people that are active and interested and helpful, right, and laughter yogis and things like that, and that something about the way that Joy First is bringing it is the next level.
Right. Part of my I'm trying to think of the word. Part of me, I want to bring it to them. But I'm a little self-conscious, that's the word, because I don't want them to feel I'm trying to be one up or I'm...
Yes.
Right?
And you live here. This is your community.
That's why. Right. I don't want them to feel... I want them to feel included, and yet if I say I'm going for a walk and somebody else is in a wheelchair, I feel... it's a self-consciousness, right?
Yeah, it's totally understandable.
And so I'll say to them, or I'm going there, or I'm going there. Would you like to come, right? Or I'll push you in the chair, or mm-hmm. or I'm going downtown. Can I get you anything? Or would you like to come with me? To a person, they say no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little afraid. I feel odd. I feel like I'll fall. I'll feel. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, yeah.
But when you come in, it's different. But then they'll say, well, can she stay? Can we do this a lot? Done is you could train these social directors.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To do that because it's not happening.
It's a new
After
perspective.
You go, right. One person last night, remember, was telling the other person about it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we showed them the video, she was so happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gone.
Right. Yes.
And what we need to do is say, each one of you is a joy ambassador.
That's right.
Right? And
yes.
So...
And teach it. We're learning so much science.
Teach one, touch one, teach one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There's so much science now about why this is working, and helping to surpass what's happening with the divisions being created psychically in our lives right now. That to teach how to overcome that.
Right.
I mean, we all have our daily habits. We have our daily thought processes. We have our stuff. And I think part of the beauty of Joy First is this hit and run kind of way that it works, where the impact, well, I'm going to ask you about that in a minute, the further impact about it. But there's real potential here for the growth of Joy First to become something that is now primary in people's minds. I'm going to bring joy, rather than I'm going to bring my opinion about politics, or I'm going to bring my thought about this. That ultimately the goal is to keep opening that door and bring more light to everyone, because that's where we should be focused. I think this is a learning opportunity for all of us to understand that how this is needed that much. Because
it's
we're
like
not
people are
seeing
starving.
It. Yes.
And we're bringing the food.
Exactly.
Right. And so I want to say to people, I know that this may attach you to me, but I don't want that. I want you to learn to cook for yourself.
Well, and I think part of it is we need more people to bring the food.
Yes.
Because if one or two people are bringing the food and then they leave because they need to bring the food somewhere else. Part of the growth question with Joy First is, how do we teach more people to fish? Right. Because we all need to be fishing for more joy. And we are hungry. Again, we're starving to be accepted as we are. We're starving for recognition that we're okay and that we're worthy just because we are. And this heart space, because not enough of us are getting just recognized for showing up to work every day. This productivity mindset of human doing tells us we're not worthy just being, and we're not worthy as ourselves. We have to be somebody else. All of that. This programming, this is what Joy First is undoing, and it's undoing it in such a way that we're begging for more. And I want to say that when we all learn how to do this, it's reciprocal. So when you give, you get just the same. And that's been the beauty of it, is being a clown. I know that when I go into a space, and first my Native American clown roots that I focus on when I do this is to take out the negative and bring in the positive energy, so that that's a safe space for people. I'm doing the same thing in these spaces with Joy First, with these quick moments. But wow, how do we all learn to do that for each other every day? And that's that light. Let's bring some more light.
What I'd like to see is find a light, a little flashlight. Little light.
I was giving out finger lights and I ran out.
Okay, and then say, as you say, or whatever, I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad that we're connected, and I'd like to give you this light to remind you. And that makes sense to me. And then it's a way to say also, you are now to give someone light. Or to say that to them. And that I'm not here to be your light, but you're here to be someone else's light.
Pass it on. Pay it forward.
Or
and
if
that's
I
the
have
ripple
been
effect.
your
The ripple effect.
If I have been your light and you feel I'm your light, it's not for you to sit in the dark and wait for me to come back.
That's right.
It's for you to take this light and pass it on.
That's right. Exactly. Yes. And with the Ojibwa culture, when I did the sessions on the reservation, I was given a couple of gifts, and what was said with those gifts is, we don't keep the gifts.
Right.
We pass them through.
Right. Right.
So you receive a gift, and instead of saying mine,
No, none of it is ours.
and joy, right? We receive some joy, and then
Right.
we offer more joy
Right.
to others,
Right.
and we pass it
Right.
through.
Right. Exactly. And the source of sadness is that we think it's ours, right? Rather than that it's to be shared. It's a gift.
Yeah.
And so we immediately, and that's ego. And when our ego gets in the way of a receipt of things, right, we trip on ourselves.
So let's take this amazing time we've had together and continue to pass it forward, and continue to learn and figure out, how do we grow joy first? What is this morph continuing to look like as it grows and changes and becomes whatever it's going to become, so that more people are receiving and giving
And
these
you're
little
grateful.
bits of life, and are grateful, that see it and can take a moment
Right.
and just be grateful, because guess what? You're alive today, and you woke up today,
Right.
and you're standing on your feet today, and you're worthy just because you exist.
And to remember, it's all a gift.
Every moment.
Because when you live in the present is a present.
That's right. And that's okay. So I recently was in the World Happiness Academy class with Ellen Langer, who says she's happy no matter what. Actively noticing things around you and realizing uncertainty is the rule. Everything new. Notice new things about the things you think you know, because actually we don't know anything.
No, we don't.
We don't know anything. The amount of control over health and happiness is far greater than we believe, because being in the present and being mindful in the present is the answer.
Right.
Hope. Things are neither good or bad. It's a judgment call. It's a judgment, and it's a choice.
Right. And Judaism believes that everything is for the good. We have no idea why things happen to us.
Right.
And that's a hard concept to keep in mind, because it requires faith that
Yeah.
it is all for the good. And of course, when we see these horrible things happening in the world, we think, oh, how could that be for the good? But we've only come in the middle of a movie.
Right. That's
And
right.
we didn't see the beginning. We're not going to see the end. And so we just have to keep working for the good.
Yes.
I have to tell you a story
Yes,
about
please do.
my son who was...
Your son is a rabbi, right?
Yes. Yeah. And he was in, I think he was in his first, it was in the 90s, so he had to be just starting out. And I said, one day he called me and he said, how you doing, Mom? And he's always been perceptive, you know, about, I said, oh, I'm doing fine. He goes, no, really, how are you doing? I said, well, I had just been called by, just had
A moment.
the moment with a insurance agent who, insurance companies hate lawyers, you know. the feeling tends to be mutual. And because you get these adjusters who think that they're doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs, and they make decisions that are not fair many times. So I said, I feel like I'm at the bottom, to want to know really how I feel like I'm at the bottom of Mount Rushmore with a child's toothbrush, and the insurance adjusters are throwing garbage down. and I'm there to clean it
Wow.
with a toothbrush and a little toothpick, and every time I look up, I get dizzy, and so I go back and I try to look up to see if things are, how much more I have to do, and you know how you say to someone when they're at the top of a mountain and they're going to look down and they get dizzy, don't look down.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, I have some advice for you, Mom. I said, okay, what is it? He said, don't look up.
Uh-huh. And that relates to Joy First. How?
Because you just keep working on your little toothbrush with your little toothbrush and do what you
And
can.
you keep bringing that little bit of light.
Right. Because that spot is clean.
That's right. That's right.
And
That's
if you look at the bigger picture, the world, you go, oh, what? It's impossible.
Yeah.
No. Judaism says we're here to repair the world, but meaning our portion of the world.
Right.
We can't do it all, but
Right.
we can do what we can do.
Right.
And if you brought joy to somebody today, or light to somebody today, or even to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have accomplished what you need to
Yeah.
accomplish.
And I want to say that although there is a spiritual component to Joy First, it's not steeped in any specific spirituality. Instead, I'd like to say it encompasses or envelops all notions of spirituality.
Right.
Because everyone is worthy and everyone's included.
Right.
And I will take your prayers and I will send them and pass them on. And I will listen and I will appreciate any spirituality, because all of it is meant to unify us. That's the purpose, one of the purposes, right? So, I'm just looking to see if there's any little quotes. So Ellen Langer is the mother of mindfulness. She's been researching mindfulness since the early 70s, and it's not, I do a lot of meditation. It's not meditation. It's nobody knows anything for sure, and we need to appreciate uncertainty and allow everything to become new. And that's from the Chief Wellbeing Officer class, where I will be certified as a Chief Wellbeing Officer. All right, Audrey, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need more playfulness in your life, like a hairdo that shifts between people?
Yes.
Yes, you can connect with more playfulness.
Right.
You can have your business more well-being focused and get a coach that will help your business be more focused and upside down. Now you have a hair beard. Now, come on. Who can't use a little more playfulness?
Right.
My goodness.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Joy First Foundation podcast. My name is Kate McGlynn, aka Katy BEE, and I am on the tour of joy. I'm so excited that you joined us. Thank you so much. Keep your eyes out for the next episode. There will be more and more joy. Have a great day. Have a joyful day. And don't forget to spread kindness everywhere you go.